hopefully it serves as a motivator for our guys, and I can sense that we've been doing things a bit with a chip on our shoulder. But again, no matter what we were ranked or weren't
Hey,
ranked,
are
it's
they?
something we don't even address with our team.
It doesn't make someone throw 2 miles an hour faster on their fastball, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't.
Coach, gotta let you go. I look forward to our Mondays. I can't thank you enough. Beat the hell out of everyone, and may the practices be great.
Thanks so much.
Take
Very
care,
much,
Coach.
Louis.
A&M baseball head coach Rob Childress will join us on the Smoothie King hotline each and every Monday, right about 11:35. Smoothie King every Friday, and I know it's 5 days away. You can start preparing now. Every Friday is $5 Friday. That means you get a $5 medium smoothie at both Smoothie King locations.
This is the Louis Beliucci Show, powered by teamofnavasota.com. To find out more about Louis or about the show, follow Louis P1150 on Twitter. Now.
French Door Spa and Salon has your Valentine taken care of this year. Book a Sweet Relief or Cupid special package. Both include chocolate and champagne. Or the For My Valentine package, which offers a facial and a massage for one sweet price. And be sure to ask about French Door Spa's Sweet Treat or Sweet Escape package for the ultimate pampering of your significant other. Can't decide? Don't worry. Gift cards are available in any amount and make the perfect gift. Call French Door Spa to schedule your loved one's Valentine's Day treat today at 696-8992.
Celebrate the 28th awesome year of Chili Fest with special guest Cody Jinks. Joining Cody Jinks on the Chili Fest stage will be Randy Rogers Band, Whiskey Myers, Flatland Cavalry, Kyle Park, and many more. And it's brought to you by Miller Lite, Maverick 100.9, Willie 97.7, Candy 95, and The Zone. For more information, visit chilifest.org. It's the 28th annual Chili Fest with Cody Jinks.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Texas Army National Guard, aired by the Texas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Become a legend this Valentine's Day, and all you have to do is listen to the Louis Beliucci Show. Each day I'll be registering people to win the Dude's Guide to Love gift basket thanks to Texas Rose Boutique, your Valentine headquarters for clothing, accessories, and home decor. You can find Texas Rose Boutique in downtown Bryan. The ultimate Valentine's Day gift basket includes treats from Molly Maid. They're made for this. Visit mollymaid.com. BCS Tires, give them your keys and put your mind at ease. Painting with a twist. It's fun art, not fine art, and more. For full details and a complete list of goodies, visit zone1150.com. And to register, listen in each day from 11 to 2 to the Louis Beliucci Show. We are done with hour number one. I can tell you coming up 12:05, Beliucci, Ryan Brauninger, live from the tap. You can go out there, enjoy an amazing lunch, because the tap does an awesome lunch. I ate lunch out there for 11 straight years, twice a week. It is amazing food. You can listen here on 1150 AM, 102.7 FM, and of course online at radioaggieland.com. You can watch the Beliucci Hour on our Facebook page, Zone 1150. So enjoy however you wish to. I'll be back at 105. I think we're going to
Sports Radio 1150 The Zone, 102.7 FM. I am your host, Ryan Brauninger. We are at the Tap on Harvey Road, enjoying the Tap's great lunch menu, $8.49 burger basket, $8.49 chicken BLT that comes with fries and a drink. Don't forget, tonight is karaoke here at the Tap. On Thursday night is piano bar, and on Wednesday we will be having a special National Signing Day edition of the Beliucci Hour lunch right here, same exact spot in the Tap, and then on the same exact radio dial. You can catch us on Wednesday, noon to 1, as Beliucci and I put a bow on the 2019 Texas A&M recruiting class, looking like the Aggies will have 3 signatures from somewhere, from some set of high school prospects of a group of about 5 or 6 that are still out there. The Aggies will look to ink 3 of them and add 26 total new football players to their roster heading into the 2019 season. And as we wrap up 2019, we move the calendar to 2020, which is a very good segue into the junior day that A&M had on campus, which will get a lot of our discussion again today, as this is going to be a recruiting-centric show. I know the Aggie basketball team played over the weekend, just outmanned and outclassed by the number 1 team in the country. And that was my first time to sit down and watch the Tennessee basketball team. And, boy, they're really impressive. And to think about they're doing that with a guy that Texas fired. And Liucci brought up this to me the other day in lunch, was how many college basketball coaches are kind of retreads. And you look around and how many retreads have success in college basketball. It's much different than a lot of sports. You guys get fired and or leave schools and go on to do just as good or better at other spots. And, and Rick Barnes is certainly an example of that. So I thought the Aggies played tough. Again, made a good account of themselves in terms of their effort, but just outclassed and outmanned Saturday night in Reed Arena. But from all accounts, it sounded like the crowd and looked like the crowd was into the game at times, and when the Aggies made a run in the second half. And a lot of those recruits that were in town were at that basketball game. So it wasn't as lethargic of an atmosphere as it has been in Reed Arena, and I think that the coaches and the players that were there were treated to a really nice atmosphere, and just got a very small percentage of what the Aggie spirit and what a game day in Aggie land looks like, even though it's basketball. So it was a very good start, great way to kick things off for Texas A&M in the 2020 class. They grabbed 2 commitments yesterday, both in the defensive backfield, but one a defensive back, kind of a safety or corner prospect out of Baton Rouge, Madison Prep County, a kid named Major Burns. Any MASH fans at the front table? Nobody watches MASH at the front table? Major Burns? Yeah. But one of the great names in the 2020 class, A&M adds him to their commit class in 2020, and then a huge in-state win over arguably the top cornerback in the state, Jalen Jones out of Cibolo Steel, and that was we had a list. It's funny when you cover this stuff as we welcome in Liucci. As you cover this stuff, Liucci, we start hearing names probably on a Tuesday or Wednesday that are coming in that, hey, keep an eye here, keep an eye out here. Major Burns' name was a late add to that, real late. Jalen Jones' name was not on that list. This Jalen Jones, that all transpired. I think A&M been doing a good job kind of behind the scenes with him. But that momentum really transpired once he got onto campus. I believe it was Saturday during the day, through that night, and then that whole junior day. That's when A&M, it was a rapid rise and closing the deal on a kid, one of the top 10 players in the state, all within basically 24 hours, Liucci.
I disagree. You know I hate starting the show disagreeing. You know how much it pains me.
You love to
disagree.
No, he doesn't.
Come on, Brawny.
He calls me.
I came in here today like I'm not going to disagree with Brawny.
Well, listen,
I made it 30 seconds. But I'll say this. I agree and disagree. I agree if you would phrase it, the close kind of came out of nowhere. We weren't expecting him to commit then, but their momentum had been trending, I think, decidedly upward for a while. And there were sources I had, and you and I talk about it, and Howell and I would talk about it.
Thank you.
where my sources were pretty confident that he was going to ultimately be an Aggie for multiple months now. Like my sources felt good about Jalen Jones eventually being an Aggie, dating back, Ryan, to this summer. Remember when he was at camp this summer? Dating back to then, and they had kind of never wavered. Sometimes I think we get caught up in we can all get caught up. You just see it and you read it enough, and especially folks that follow it. Like I'm talking about some of the listeners, some of the people on message boards. If you see it and read it enough, you start to kind of just assume that the people are right. You don't count that Gooseneck's got an agenda and the Shush Man's got an agenda and the rest of the Bathwater bunch have an agenda. We were led to believe, right, that DeMarvin Leal was going to be in burnt orange, that Dalen Wright was going to be in burnt orange, Brian Williams, Damani Richardson. Someone might say, well, Javon Shepard and Jordan. Okay, yeah, they're going to get some guys. But my point is, we just rattled off like 4 guys that they were getting. And when our boy Garrett Wilson committed to Ohio State, that wasn't going to last. And then it damn sure wasn't going to last once Urban Meyer got in trouble. But what they don't realize is Tom Herman rubs a lot of he handles recruitments bad. He rubs people the wrong way, and that's not a massage parlor joke. He rubs people the wrong way in his approach. And
that's one of your better ones.
Thank you. You look at like Damon Demas, and you saw his tweets this weekend. I mean, he loves everything about A&M and Jimbo Fisher, but the way Texas handled things has only pushed him closer to the Aggies. You know, it's only made that bond that much stronger. And I think that's what happens with a lot of guys. But the people that cover this stuff that you keep reading, and that a lot of times for some reason people want to believe like a gooseneck and not believe people that cover A&M, because it's just this defeatist mentality. Forget the top 5 class. Forget all the head-to-head wins. We're just worried about what could go wrong. So we'll focus on Javon Shepard.
Hold on.
And ignore everything else.
You're in the middle of something really good.
Go
but
ahead.
I'm going to get on the front table now, okay?
Okay.
Because as soon as
Chad
I walked
Morris, we can't hire Jimbo because we're A&M.
As soon as I walked in, I'm in a great mood
Uh-huh.
because A&M's had a great weekend on the recruiting trail. It was a great day yesterday on TexAgs and a lot of fun. And the first thing that happened, I walked in, they all turned, Brauninger, what happened with Zach Evans?
Because he didn't visit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
It is.
I can't even enjoy me getting my water and sitting down.
And it's a problem. It's a problem, guys. It really is. And I think as a collective fan base, and I will fight this battle, and I will not relent. And you can think I'm a jerk, and there are people on the A&M varsity forum that
we love you.
They hate,
Thank you,
and we love varsity, but they hate my delivery, and it offends them, and it upsets them. And Billy called us out, and he can't do that. He can't. I don't like the way he disagreed with Panther Ag. But what you don't know about Panther Ag is I've been friends with him for 15 years. I go speak to the Tyler A&M Club when I first got started as his guest. You know, he's one of the nicest people I know. I completely disagree with him when he says that there's some secret monster surprise coming because, I'm 1,000% convinced that's not true. B, I think it gets people's hopes up. Again, like you talk about the front table, and then they're, like, bummed about not getting whoever, Ishmael Sopsher, 5-star from Louis. I'm not saying that's a guy, but, like, some of you think that. And it's like, oh, it's disappointing we didn't get – well, you weren't getting him. So where's the disappointment? And so I'm sorry if I come out a little harsher than some people can – it's not palatable, my delivery for them. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm me. And if you like me, if you don't like me, I'm me. If it seems I care if you don't like me, it's because I defend myself. When people are saying stuff, I'm going to defend myself, probably to a fault. But in this instance, I'm not backing down, and I think as a collective, the A&M fans on social media and a lot of especially message boards outside of Texas A&M, it would be more beneficial to recognize what's happening good. And this is not like a wag the dog thing where we're saying, hey, let's focus on our crappy recruiting to deflect away from all that's going wrong. This is not the Iraqi information minister where they like to put my face on the – people think I don't like those things, by the way. The gifts of me are hilarious. And my friends send them to me, and I'll show people. The funniest thing was a couple of the Astros I know they followed me on Twitter and sent me a DM saying, hey, Liucci, are you aware of this? And it's like this fake account with Trilly Liucci or whatever. Not Billy, but Trilly. And then there's another one, the famous GIF with, me yelling on the sidelines and some cartoon piece of equipment flying into my face. But my friends laugh at that. That's Matt Bumgardner's. It comes up on his phone when I call him. Like, you don't faze me. It's fun. Like, if you make a funny GIF of me, dude, I'm laughing. But I'm not backing down of the thing. And they can say and do all they want. The fans, I think it helps to not be so defeatist. To lose this Chicago Cub, like, people it is in the process of becoming great. It is turning around. And if you can't see that because you're worried about Zach Evans not visiting, and it deflects from getting a top 10 player in Texas and a guy in Louisiana that they absolutely loved and coveted to take in this situation, not to mention Damon Demas and everything that came out of him this weekend. Troy O'Meara, a 5-star wide receiver that I think they are, I don't think it's going to happen right away, but I think they're in the driver's seat for. And so many other good things that happened this week, and more commits to come, mind you. But you're worried about Zach Evans, who's a great player, not making it in. How about Malik Hornsby and his whole family being here? And how about the fact that you could get Demas, O'Meara,
Alfred Collins,
Devin Achane, who wasn't here, but I'm saying just out of Houston, you can get those 4 guys out of the Houston area. You don't think they'd have a pretty big impact on Zach Evans? He didn't come. Chill out and let's see, because my prediction is they'll have him on campus sometime in the next month or so, and he'll have like an entire day for himself. That is so far from the end of the line. It's nuts. So my point is, when things are going so well, there's no reason to dwell on the bad. When Kellen Mond throws a pick, it's like I was giving Gabe a hard time in the bowl game. This is an example. Well, Kellen Mond even picked himself up off the mat and finished with a good game. Was he on the mat, or did he go through a 1-for-6, 1-for-7 stretch in a half of a game that A&M won by 35 points or 40 points, and he threw 2 passes in the second half, and he finished with about 230, 235 yards of total offense in the first half and a couple touchdowns? That's basically on pace for a 470-yard, 4-touchdown game in a bowl against the number 3 team in the ACC. Again, we picked this little thing. And I'm sorry for the rant and the lecture, because I feel like time can be better spent elsewhere right now. But I'm passionate about that. And I think when that changes, and I think you've got the head coach to do it. A&M almost got there with the Johnny and Mike because they didn't think like that. They didn't worry about Texas landing a recruit, and they didn't worry about who they had to play or who was winning other games. They were focused on, we want to beat Alabama, and we want to win, we want to win the SEC, and I want to win a Heisman, and I want to score 50 against Nick Saban. Like, that's what motivated and had their attention. Jimbo Fisher was in Alabama a lot of last week. He's there to say, I'm in your backyard, Nick Saban. You can come in mine. Here I am in yours. A&M is focused on that. They're not focused on Texas. And I don't know this, Bronny, but I would bet you money, and this would probably surprise fans. I would bet you money that if A&M had a pick, if you're not going to get a primetime player, let's say Jalen Waddle. They would rather have Jalen Waddle in Austin right now than at Alabama, or rather have, Calavin or Chase on or whoever at Texas than rather have him in Baton Rouge at LSU. That's who you're playing against. That's who you have to beat. And if you ever have to play Texas, you're fine anyway because you're meeting them in a playoff or you're meeting them in a major bowl. So I think the focus needs to shift east, and I think you would be foolish not to keep a watchful eye on where the momentum sits between Austin and College Station at all times because recruiting matters most. But I think what people need to – like when things are going so well, don't worry that Texas beat Georgia. Don't let that be what ranks higher on your list of what you're concerned about or higher on your list than, damn it, Texas beat Georgia. That screws us. And you put that ahead of winning your last 4 games, beating LSU for the first time since joining the SEC, landing a top 5 class, and going out and winning a bowl game and going into the offseason with the momentum. And don't worry if Texas finishes 3rd in the national rankings in recruiting because they fudged the numbers, which you all know, or an A&M finishes 4th. That doesn't matter. It matters on some level, but it's not up at the top. What the real storyline is Texas A&M finished 4th. That's the storyline. It's not, damn it, Texas had a bunch of 3 stars go to 4 stars and a 4-star go to be the highest ranked safety in the country practically, or a no star go to the highest ranked safety. That should rate lower. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm not saying it doesn't. It should rate way lower. Just trust me. Listen to me. Talk crap about me. I don't give a damn because I know I'm right.
See what you did.
And most of you know I'm right too. Yeah. And now I got to reply to my friend Suzanne Halliburton from the Austin Statesman, who's asking me why on Twitter, not DM, like direct, so I can quote it. She's asking me, when I see you Wednesday, explain to me why San Antonio is a big deal. Well, I'll explain it now, and I'll explain it to her Wednesday. I don't think San Antonio on a whole is this battlefield that everyone in the country is fighting to win. I think A&M's starting quarterback is from there, and he's pretty damn good. I think Texas is starting quarterbacks from Austin. Yeah. He's pretty damn good. Ohio State's receiver, who's the number 1 receiver practically in the country this year, is from Austin. He's pretty damn good. Baker Mayfield's pretty damn good. Nick Foles is pretty damn good. Johnny's pretty damn – that area produces players. Last I checked, Texas fans sure as hell celebrated signing Malcolm Brown, who's a good running back for them. They sure as hell celebrated Caden Stearns, who's a damn good safety for them this year. And they damn sure would have celebrated DeMarvin Leal, who they claimed was the biggest thing. Remember Gooseneck? There was a Gooseneck celebration.
Cinco
de Leal or something. They made such a big deal about him visiting there after A&M. It must have mattered for something. And last I checked, it's not San Antonio. It's just interesting because to me, San Antonio is essentially in A&M's in Texas's backyard. So when there are guys from San Antonio that the Longhorns really want, or Austin, in the case of Garrett Wilson, maybe Elijah Higgins, who went to Stanford, and there are guys in San Antonio like DeMarvin Leal, who Texas thought was a lock, like Jalen Jones, who Texas thought was a lock, and hell yeah, it's noteworthy. Absolutely. So, there's my answer. I hope that's good enough, and I'll explain it to my girl Wednesday. I love Suzanne, but that's just that. That's a bad question.
We'll have, on the other side of the break, have a real quick segment and get some more thoughts and a lot more recruiting to talk about. Beliucci Hour Lunch, live on the Zone.
Your home for A&M women's basketball is Sports Radio 1150 and the Zone 102.7 FM.
There's a Kubota for every job. There's a Kubota for every harvest. There's a Kubota for every task. And at Normandy Tractor, for a limited time only, take the drive to Normandy and let Vernon and the boys show you what they have ready for the new year. Get the new Kubota L2501 DT 24.8 horsepower tractor loader with quick attach bucket and 5-foot shredder now through March 31st for a cash price of only $15,800 or payments as low as $160 per month based on 20% down, 0 APR for 84 months. And remember, most any trade-in can be your down payment. Normandy Tractor has over 8 acres of Kubota tractors, Kubota RTVs, ATVs, and Kubota mowers to choose from. Remember to shop additional Kubota package deals on the web at normandytractor.com. For the lowest prices and largest selection, shop Normandy Tractor, voted best of the Brazos since 2002. The corner of Highway 39 and OSR in Normandy, and remember, nobody beats Normandy Tractor. Nobody.
You need help if you've been charged with a crime. The justice system is daunting. You need an experienced defense lawyer to obtain the best results for you. Steve Gustitis, attorney at law, has been helping people fight criminal charges for over 20 years. Call Steve Gustitis now to schedule your free consultation. 823-9111. Qualified people are ready to take your call. Let Steve Gustitis put his experience to work for you. 823-9111. Visit GustitisLaw.com today and get the help that you need.
Hi, this is Jonathan with Bottom Line Bookkeeping. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act will affect your tax return this year, whether you are a business or an individual.
And I'm Debbie, and we want to remind you to get all of your stuff ready. Last year's taxes, this year's documents, and be sure to tell us about all of your big life changes.
Starting your return early gives you more time to gather necessary information that could increase the amount you get back for a maximum refund.
Some questions you might ask yourself. Did you start a new business last year? Did you work full-time or part-time? Get married? Add a child or parent to your household? Did a family member head to college?
Take an early look at what these milestones will mean for your taxes this year and next year. Another reason why you should call award-winning Bottom Line Bookkeeping to be your tax professional.
Let us schedule your appointment early to get your taxes done. At Bottom Line Bookkeeping, you are more than just a number to us. Call 691-2345 today.
And we also want to take this time to thank you for voting Bottom Line Bookkeeping Best of the Brazos for the last 14 years.
Liberty Mutual Insurance knows you're focusing on the road right now, so we'll just describe our new online banner ads to you. They're bright, welcoming, and clickable, with a perfectly stacked headline that reads, Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. You'll find yourself drinking in this banner ad for minutes on end and wondering about your own insurance choices.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Go Hour. K-Pop, Olin Buchanan. Go Hour. Don't miss the Go Hour. Go Hour on TexAgs Radio. Each weekday morning from 8 till 9. On the Zone.
Welcome back, Beliucci Hour Lunch. Real quick segment, put us back on schedule here. But, Luch, 13-3, Patriots beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady just continues to cement himself as the greatest of all time. And the best thing about it was that the way the thing ended screwed you out of it was a big woe is me moment for you, and called me basically wanting me to feel sorry for how misfortunate you were that you got a bad beat. And I
appreciate you airing out my financial woes.
You talked about it on.
I know. I was checking to see if you'd listen, but yeah, I lost the 70-inch TV on my square. So
and you acted like this is a run of about 3 years in a row of bad luck with your bets in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I bet one time a year or even gamble. I don't even like gambling that much, like in Vegas. I waste money enough that I'm not a fan of voluntary. Like, if I'm going to waste money, I want something in return for it. I don't like just throwing it into the air. And so I'm not, like, I've never been, like, a big gamble guy. Like, again, even when I'm in Vegas, I'd rather go eat good meals and go, go to some good show, party, whatever. But Super Bowl, I love doing that. And I'm talking about, like, squares and stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to Lake Charles this weekend. And, like, the most I'll do is
sit you'll hate it. Yeah, you'll
sit
hate
in front of
losing
a penny,
money.
penny slot machine.
Well, that's like a 90-year-old woman.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's like my mom does that.
I hit for $450 in Vicksburg on our way to Starkville, though.
Really?
First roll,
Penny
I sat down
slots.
on a penny slot machine, and I hit.
That's so Niederland of
Dude,
you.
and it all came up on the same logo except for the one that if I'd have hit the whole screen same logo, it'd have been like a $5,000 payout on a $4 bet on a penny slot.
It's nice. I mean, do you have one of them weird like wrist braces when you play, so you can just sit there and tap it
my
enough?
carpal tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah,
it prevents carpal tunnel.
So I think I just needed I had 0 and 3. Patriots 0, Rams 3. All I needed was for them to get the first down. They came an inch short, or I needed them to not go from their 5-yard line into field goal range, or for the Rams to accept that holding penalty on first down, but they didn't, and it screwed up everything. So, yeah, I would have had a nice big-ass TV. That I probably would have put in my room so I could just sit there in bed and watch this giant TV. Now I have to go buy one.
You got a back porch.
Not only do I have to buy one, but I also lost whatever I had, put on all the squares. So
you should put it on your back porch. That Griffith could watch it while he's out there.
It's already been stolen off my back porch once, and
really?
I've got a little something waiting if someone tries to do that again. But
all right, so the front table made a request when we walked in that we talk about the 2019 class because they said that they might not be alive for 2020, so we'll give them their wish. We will talk about 2019 class and how A&M closes on Wednesday on the other side of the break. Liucci Hour Lunch live on the Zone.
From News Talk 1620 WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with the news update on Sports Radio 1150 in the Zone 102.7 FM. The future opening of Texas A&M's new outdoor track and the first full season of the softball team's new stadium is not the end of construction projects involving Aggie athletics. Jeff Toole is the athletic department's chief financial officer.
We have a $2.5 million project to upgrade the women's basketball locker room. We have the money raised to do that. And then for the new football staff, we're making some improvements to the Davis Player Development Center to expand a little space, put in an AstroTurf area for testing, and a nutrition center.
During the update Toole provided on the last Gary Blair Coaches Show, he said there's also going to be a more than $7 million expansion of the Aggie swimming and diving team's facilities, which will include new locker rooms, a team lounge, a training area, and coaches' offices. The call by local law enforcement to lock doors not only applies to vehicles and residences, but to businesses. That's after Bryan police received 2 reports Friday morning about burglars opening unlocked doors to gain entry into 2 private schools. Cornerstone Christian Academy lost several notebook computers and other electronics valued at almost $4,000. And the loss of property at St. Michael's Episcopal School was estimated at $25. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Most of Texas Avenue in the Twin Cities that is not concrete is being repaved, and the TxDOT district office in Bryan reports the work starts tonight. According to a TxDOT news release, there will be various lane closures for the next few months between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m. The $2.5 million contract will repave Texas from just north of Highway 21 in Bryan to George Bush Drive in College Station. For more news, go online to WTAW.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on Sports Radio 1150 and the Zone 102.7 FM.
When you or your loved ones need emergency medical care fast, remember Signature Care Emergency Centers. We're available 24 hours a day to deliver on-demand and the most reliable care for you. Our experienced nurses and board-certified physicians have years of unmatched experience. Our state-of-the-art facilities will get you the most effective treatment, period. Plus, we accept all major private insurance carriers for your convenience. For more, call 213-5728 or click ercare24.com. Signature Care Emergency Center, located on Texas Avenue South, across from Kohl's.
Folks are always looking for a place to meet friends, grab some food, relax, and unwind with a cold beer, mixed drink, or glass of Boots Sweet Tea. The Tap on Harvey Road has been the place to do just that for nearly 30 years. A casual atmosphere and tasty food keeps people coming back for more. Our burgers, salads, chicken tenders, nachos, and more are sure to satisfy whatever craving you have. And being in SEC country, the Tap is a great place to meet before, during, or after the game. See you at the Tap on Harvey Road in College Station.
Kelly Burt Dozer has been clearing the path for progress for over 35 years. So before construction ever starts on any new home or business, your first thought and your first phone call should be Kelly Burt Dozer. Since 1978, Kelly Burt Dozer has handled hundreds of jobs throughout the Brazos Valley. They know the obstacles you must overcome to successfully excavate and fully prepare this terrain with efficient solutions to ensure a job well done, no matter your time frame or budget. That's Kelly Burt Dozer. Call 778-1902 or click kellyburtdozer.com.
The Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Adios, old friend. Yeah, I've got no secrets and no regrets. Well, a lot of regrets, but the point is I've got nothing to hide. Kind of like the way Progressive shows you their competitors' rates. You got to put it all out there, baby. Excuse me, miss. Does this heart belong to you? Would you like it anyway?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparisons not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
You can listen to Paul Feinbaum 2 to 4 afternoons on Sports Radio 1150. The Zone 102.7 FM and online at RadioAggieland.com.
And I was.
Smash Mouth, bro.
How about the feud between Smash Mouth and Passwaters from Rivals?
That was wild.
It's one of those deals where you just didn't wake up that day expecting
that battle to be fought.
To see that battle play out on Twitter.
Ryan Brauninger,
Mark
Beliucci.
Passwaters v. Smash Mouth. I keep trying to get Passwaters to re-engage with him, but he won't do it for me. I'm like, dude, do me a favor. Like, give me, like, some entertainment today and go get in it with Smash Mouth. I know if I had a feud with Smash Mouth, I would just poke that beehive regularly, just to piss them off.
They needed to stay relevant. Ron Brauninger, Beliucci with you at the Tap on Harvey Road. Monday nights, karaoke Wednesday nights, piano bar. Don't forget our signing dough are on Wednesday. And then we'll be back here on Thursday. As we have got just a couple of days left until the close of the 2019 recruiting class. And like we said, we'll have a signing day show here on Wednesday. So, Liucci, 3 spots left. Still, with 48 hours to go, kind of murky.
Yeah.
About, in terms of definitively, we feel good that A&M is going to get X, Y, Z. It could be A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Any of those 6, and how they landed Texas A&M is still a little bit of a mystery. Or who
like
does?
This morning, what I was saying, I feel best about their chances with Chris Russell, linebacker out of Tennessee.
If they are able to
none
pull
of these
that
are
up,
locks.
yeah.
I feel best about him.
Oh, can we
and
stop
I feel
real quick?
best about Anais Smith, who, again, I said this morning, Jimbo has loved Anais Smith from the get-go. That's the head coach, and he's been a big fan of him as a player from when they offered him this summer. So I think those are the 2 I feel most confident about. Christian Williams, as of last night, I think that was a coin flip. There were going to be conversations between A&M and him tonight, last night, today. That one's not over. From best of my knowledge, it's not like he's called and said, "Coach, I'm going to A&M." I mean, I'm going to LSU. He hasn't called and said, "Coach, I'm coming to A&M." I think that one's still in play. And then there's Javon
and Braden Mowry.
Braden Mowry, he's been upfront about it. He's had work to do. So that one's interesting because does it play out where he ends up doing something like either a gray shirt or something like it, in order to get all his classroom work, which he's been open with you about, situated, take care of business, as he puts it, and get that situated? Or do you sign him and say, look, we think you're getting in. You got to work hard. We're going to put our trust in you. You make it happen. Or do you say, put your trust in us. We're 1,000% signing you because A&M, it's very obvious, thinks he's a big-time football player and it's a need position as a pass rusher. And put your trust in us. You got a spot. Instead of being here, in the fall, you'd be here in January, and let's get this thing rolling. Gives you an extra semester to get ready for your freshman year, whatever. However it works out,
just so we're clear,
they're taking Braden Mowry.
And I think, I think you think as well that they will take eventually Josh Ellison.
Yes,
I
think Josh Ellison might end up going the JC, traditional JC route. Yeah. Maybe that would be my prediction. And again, anything can happen, but they're Braden Mowry is going to be an Aggie. And it might be where they have that third spot. Again, you guys think there's 27. There's 26. I've said that for 3 months. People don't believe me, but I don't know, Billy, you're saying something factual and you're disagreeing with us, or you're a bad person, and we don't like the way you're saying it.
Well, you think everybody's after you all the time, man?
Well, they are, because they're stating it so matter of fact. They're after me. The vocal minority is. It's not like. But I will always feud and fight. It's what keeps. It's my energy.
Yeah.
I'm like those guys.
you out
I'm
of
like
bed
those
in the
guys in the NFL. And you're like, why are they so angry? Well, they're really not angry. They're angry at. They're angry at. I need to be one of those that like ignore the haters, but I can ignore the haters. I don't like when people are wrong, and I want to tell them what's right. And I am right on 26, and have been right, and it's going to work out that way. And it's, is it Chris Russell, Christian Williams, and Nias with Maury coming in later? Is it? I think the most likely might be Chris Russell, Nias Smith, Braden Maury. And I think the second most likely is Chris Russell, Nias Smith, Christian Williams, plus Braden Maury.
So you are on Javon to Texas.
Yes, but I'd watch out for Bama or Georgia. I just think this thing with him.
He could make that decision and avoid this whole thing.
This thing with him could go any which wild way, and it could land at A&M, which then things get really interesting. Because what if Javon and Christian Williams want to go to A&M? And I don't think they're going to run into that issue, because I think it's a coin flip with Christian Williams, and I think they're behind the 8 ball with Javon. So for both of those to swing in A&M's favor, I think is the longest shot of this whole scenario. But with that said, I've talked about it last night and today, and I've talked to other sources. Javon's recruitment is going to have more twists and turns between now and Wednesday, and I've never seen a recruitment go like his has that didn't have twists and turns in the last 48 hours before signing day. He's too – and I don't mean this as an insult. There are other things he's done that I've disagreed with, like, tweet, Instagram and expletives aimed at Texas A&M that's done nothing but, tell them how much they want him and try to show them how much they want him. But that's at the pressure and behest of the Texas Longhorn players and coaching staff, which is disgusting. And they'll deny that, but that's true. To me, when I say emotional, it's not an insult. I think I'd been. You could have preyed on.
He's a 17-year-old kid,
Brauning,
kid.
You're an impressionable kid now. You're sensitive. You don't. I feel like you would be swayed a lot during your recruitment. I feel like they could have gotten to you.
As a guy that's been recruited,
You're very. Yeah, but I think you did. You not walk on at McNeese?
No, I did not.
Damn it!
I did not.
You're ruining my narrative, dude.
Of course.
But
I hate
as
to
a
do
guy
that.
that's been recruited, that doesn't mean anything. I know you very well.
We're getting far afield.
Far afield.
You to try to take shots at me.
I just think that you would have been like, you could have been like, man, I really like this guy and I trust him and I believe what he's saying. And then the next thing you know, you talk to Jimbo and you're like, man, I just think you would have had a hard time with that decision.
You don't know me. Like you,
yes, I do.
You don't know, but that statement means you don't. Like we've been friends and coworkers for 4 or 5 years now.
You think I'm reaching here to compare you to Javon?
I think you're reaching.
All right, give me a name. Give me a
name
of someone within TexAgs.
Nobody cares. Oh, that would be emotional. Oh,
yeah. Who would be?
I mean,
very all over the map in their recruitment.
Logan.
No, although he did transfer.
Yeah.
He went from Hawaii to A&M.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Gabe. I do. I think Gabe just he would be.
I was trying to avoid
well,
that.
I know because it was low hanging fruit, but I think he would just trust everyone. This is actually a weird way to compliment. I think he'd trust everyone and kind of want to believe that everyone's telling him the truth. But in the case of Javon, he's very impressionable. So the last thing, and that's what you were worried about with the Texas visit and saying, hey, look, this is why I said, that's why you said you thought they were going to lose him.
Not lose him.
Or not get him. That's true. You're right. Not get him.
This kid's been committed to Texas since the summer.
And At the same time, I think because of that, we've seen this a million times, there's going to be that the feelings are going to change a lot in the next couple of days as he approaches this. 'Cause remember, this was the guy that was set to sign with them early, but then had so much going on in his head in terms of, is it going to be A&M? Do I want to take other visits? And then didn't sign, and they thought he was going to sign, then he didn't. Then people were reporting that he was going to flip to A&M when he wasn't. So it's pretty interesting to see where this is going to go. But I think at the end of the day, I think the easy thing to do is to just not flip and stay, and I think that'll be what ends up happening.
Let's close this segment with, if they land Chris Russell, I think that will go completely I don't think it'll be appreciated enough by this fan base. Go watch that tape. How that kid's I know how he's a 3-star. He's from a small town in Northwest Tennessee. He never did any camp, college or on the the Rivals or the Under Armour or the Nike. They didn't do any of those camps, so he wasn't on the circuit on anybody's radar. Go watch the first 2 minutes of that tape and tell me that's not a high 4-star kid that is better than every linebacker in this state this year outside of maybe Marcel Brooks.
100% with you.
People want to compare him to Tyrell Dodson, and listen, if he has a career like Tyrell did here, obviously A&M fans would be thrilled about that. He's a better prospect than Tyrell Dodson coming out of high school.
I had someone who follows this stuff real close tell me, if that guy, if you have the time, go watch the top 10 linebackers in the country on tape and go watch his tape. And keep in mind, he's a 6'2", 230-pound guy. He's not at least prototype size. Put that in mind. Go watch the top 10 linebackers in the country and tell me that he's not as good as the bottom 4 guys in that group. In other words, because of everything you said, he went under the radar. This would be
this is truly
monster
under the
get
radar
for A&M late.
A kid at Plano East is not under the radar.
Yeah, exactly.
This kid in small town Northwest Tennessee is under the radar.
Yeah, they should have evaluated his tape a little more, invited him to a U.S. Army Bowl and seen how he played. If you beat out Tennessee for a coveted defensive player from Tennessee, and Jeremy Pruitt does have some momentum on the recruiting front, that's a pretty significant late get for the Aggies.
Well,
and if they get
he asked that visit, he didn't even go.
Yeah.
So.
And if you in Arkansas too, who's looking at, but if you got Christian Williams, who is a guy that was good enough to be on Alabama's commit list for months,
he had an LOI and did not sign it.
Yeah, in February could have signed. December could have signed with Alabama, and you will have to beat out LSU for him. That's if you did those two things and got Anaya Smith, that'd be a pretty significant finish. Or Braden Mowry with him, that group.
Like I said last week,
remember
Braden Mowry's uncommitted and he signed with A&M on signing day, the front table would be dancing on the table.
He's rated and was recruited as highly as Derek Hunter, as Jeremiah Martin last year, who they got at the end of the deal, as Joseph Osai, who last year everybody was up in arms over losing late. So hell yeah, that's a big get. It's just he's been in the fold forever, so it's not creating as much stir.
On the other side of the break, we'll close the show. We'll look at some new offers that went out yesterday, as well as your questions from here at the Tap. Beliucci Hour Lunch live on the Zone.
Be the first to know about guests, prizes, contests, or anything to do with the Louie Beliucci Show. Follow Louie B1150 on Twitter.
Everyone makes mistakes. Mistakes can land you on the wrong side of the law. If so, you need someone on your side. Steve Gustitis, attorney at law, has over 20 years' experience fighting felony and misdemeanor charges. Steve Gustitis will fight for you. Call now to set up your free consultation, 823-9111. Qualified people are ready to take your call. Call 823-9111 or visit GustitisLaw.com to see how Steve Gustitis can put the law on your side.
Folks are always looking for a place to meet friends, grab some food, relax, and unwind with a cold beer, mixed drink, or glass of Boots Sweet Tea. The Tap on Harvey Road has been the place to do just that for nearly 30 years. A casual atmosphere and tasty food keeps people coming back for more. Our burgers, salads, chicken tenders, nachos, and more are sure to satisfy whatever craving you have. And being in SEC country, the Tap is a great place to meet before, during, or after the game. See you at the Tap on Harvey Road in College College Station.
Hi, this is Jonathan with Bottom Line Bookkeeping. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act will affect your tax return this year, whether you are a business or an individual.
And I'm Debbie, and we want to remind you to get all of your stuff ready. Last year's taxes, this year's documents, and be sure to tell us about all of your big life changes.
Starting your return early gives you more time to gather necessary information that could increase the amount you get back for a maximum refund.
Some questions you might ask yourself. Did you start a new business last year? Did you work full-time or part-time? Get married? Add a child or parent to your household? Did a family member head to college?
Take an early look at what these milestones will mean for your taxes this year and next year. Another reason why you should call award-winning Bottom Line Bookkeeping to be your tax professional.
Let us schedule your appointment early to get your taxes done. At Bottom Line Bookkeeping, you are more than just a number to us. Call 691-2345 today.
And we also want to take this time to thank you for voting Bottom Line Bookkeeping Best of the Brazos for the last 14 years.
There's a Kubota for every job. There's a Kubota for every harvest. There's a Kubota for every task. And at Normandy Tractor, for a limited time only, take the drive to Normandy and let Vernon and the boys show you what they have ready for the new year. Get the new Kubota L2501 DT 24.8 horsepower tractor loader with quick attach bucket and 5-foot shredder now through March 31st for a cash price of only $15,800 or payments as low as $160 per month based on 20% down, 0 APR for 84 months. And remember, most any trade-in can be your down payment. Normandy Tractor has over 8 acres of Kubota tractors, Kubota RTVs, ATVs, and Kubota mowers to choose from. Remember to shop additional Kubota package deals on .com. For the lowest prices and largest selection, shop Normandy Tractor, voted best of the Brazos since 2002. The corner of Highway 39 and OSR in Normandy, and remember, nobody beats Normandy Tractor. Nobody.
Every pitch, every hit, every win. You can hear Texas A&M baseball on Sports Radio 1150 and the Zone 102.7 FM.
Don't you cry no more.
Final segment of the show, Ryan Brauninger, Billy Liucci. Beliucci Hour lunch from the Tap on Harvey Road. Got some questions from here at the Tap, but first, Liucci, I want to get to new offers that went out yesterday. 3 very intriguing offers. We'll start in the secondary. 2 more in the so you get 2 commits in the secondary. You get 2 more offers out in state to Little Elm corner Ryan Watts, who is perhaps the fastest rising prospect in the state of Texas. Like every college campus this kid's going to walk on, he's going to get offers because he was, from what I was told, one of the more physically imposing looking kids on campus yesterday.
I compared him this morning to DeMarvion Overshawn from when he was coming out of ARP, where and by the way,
he's
Florida
not that
State.
big, but
no, not as a player. I'm just saying, as a guy that every campus he walks onto, it's 100% certainty that when you combine his tape with what he looks like walking into the room, he's going to get an offer. And he's going to blow up like Overshawn did.
He's actually built a little bit when I looked at him like Devion Renfro. Big, long, wide-shouldered kid, good-looking dude. Xavion Alford, safety out of Shadow Creek. Probably the best film that I've watched at safety in the state of Texas. An offer we felt like was coming for a long time. A guy that Mike Elko had targeted for a long time to get an offer and had spoken to Xavion and the folks around Xavion about that and had a monster state final game and really good tape. And I think the Aggies are situated themselves now with that offer to land a kid out of South Houston, that Manville, Pearland area where they've been so successful.
Yeah, they've done a great job recruiting that area. It's natural fit. And, man, if they get him and, Jalen Kimber is a guy that we've been talking about and that we feel like is close. If they get those 2, you're sitting at 4. They've got Antonio Johnson out of East St. Louis, Illinois, who actually loving A&M early. You've got Dwight McGlothern, who's a high 4-star, Lorando Johnson, who LSU. That's probably who you need to close on there, but he's giving A&M a hard look. And then you mentioned Watts, who at no point along the way would they turn down. So I could see this being I say another. They might sign 4 on when, or counting the early signings, they might have 4 in this class. They may end up with 5, but I could see it certainly being a 5-man haul again, because what you're forgetting is 2 years ago now, with Jordan Moore already gone, A&M signed 1 DB in the whole class. So if you sign 4 this year, 1 last year,
And one of those is JUCO.
and one's a JUCO, so meaning when the 2020 kids are on campus, that player will be a senior. So will Renfro.
If he doesn't Sternberger the thing and go one and done.
You never know.
Yeah.
We say never. And Charles Oliver will be gone, and Miles Jones and Clifford Chapman and Debion Renfro will be seniors. So there's going to be a significant need. I think the number they need to sign is a minimum of 4, probably 5 would be the right number in this class. So then you wonder if the overall numbers could you go as high as 6. I think 5 would be a fair number to settle on. They're at 2 right now, and you could see them getting to 4 very quickly.
Last offer that went out, pretty cool one for me locally, because I've seen the kid grow up and in our baseball academy. But for Aggie fans too, Devin Price at A&M Consolidated gets an offer. When you think about it again, I've said it before, should be a 2021 in terms of age. Measured in at 6'3", 195 pounds, and is getting bigger.
Bigger by the day.
This isn't some kind of charity offer for Devin Price. This kid can play, go watch his tape, and he's going to grow into a monster. He's going to keep growing. He'll be enormous.
It's what you call a fortunate offer.
Yeah.
When a coach's son is good enough to play at Texas A&M and many other places. But, yeah, you're right. What's he going to be? I mean, look how big TP is. I mean, is he going to be a 6'5", 225-pound wide receiver? Because I would say yes. 6'4".
Yeah.
But I think he could be. The way his frame is, it wouldn't surprise me to see him creep up on over 6'4".
Knowing the kid, and I talked to him yesterday after the offer, and then, everybody in town and all Aggies knowing who kind of do Terry Price is, that had to be a special night for both kid and dad. So, obviously the Aggies stand a good chance. But to Devin's credit, he said, I need to go see
How
other
was
places.
that offer handed out? Was that just your traditional?
Well, Jimbo called him in. Yeah, Jimbo
was
called him in.
TP was in there?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, really?
He brought him in by saying, I don't want your dad in here because I'm going to offer you as a player, not because of who you are.
I love it.
So,
and here's the thing, too. It's just cool. I was saying this morning, I'm sitting there remembering Bucky. So Sumlin got here in 2012. We're now in 2019, so 7 years ago now. So these guys that are in right now 11th or they're in 10th and 11th grade were in 3rd and 4th grade, running around playing catch on the field during games on the sideline, and I'm walking from one side to the other, dodging those guys and Jackson and Joey Sumlin. They're little kids, and now one of them picks up an A&M offer. The other one I think is sure to do so a little bit later. He's a class behind, so it's pretty cool to see. And then Jimbo met, I think, with upwards of 40 players this week. It's pretty amazing.
On
yesterday,
Wednesday,
I said this week. Yesterday.
On Wednesday, we'll be back right here for our National Signing Day show. Be sure to join us for that. Louis Bellina's on the other side of the break. Beliucci Hour Lunch.
Belluna.